Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to our sixth annual Six Psychics Under One Roof. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And all of us are kind of veterans to this. Sherry Donovan this is her first year joining us. We're so happy to have her. Great turnout. You guys are all eager. You're all keeners. Love that. Love to know that you're all interested in finding out what the heck 2026 is bringing, because I think we can all agree that 2024 was it was a lot. Let's just put that out there. It was a lot. So, but before we get started, I just want to say one thing very quickly. Do not post your questions yet. I will tell you when to start posting your questions. We're going to get through all of our speakers first. But I just want to make sure that just hang on to your questions, because otherwise they're just going to get lost in the feed. All right. And I'm going to give you some information on how to post your questions and whatnot here in a moment. But let me do some introductions here. Our first speaker of the day is going to be Laura Warren. Hey, Laura Warren, how are you? She, can you unmute yourself? We're having a little bit of technical challenges here today, guys, so bear with us. Uh, hmm, I don't know. Just a second, Laura Warren. I will get you unmuted. See, I can't set it up so that uh, you know, only certain people can unmute. There you go. Say hi.
Hi.
So Laura is our psychic medium extraordinaire. She is a master teacher. She was the co-host of Sightseers. If you haven't had a chance to see that, you can pick up some episodes of that on her website, laurawarrenmedium.com. And she is the co-host of a podcast, an amazing podcast that she and her wife just started this year called Circle of the Sacred Flame. It is kick-ass. If you haven't already listened to it, you got to listen to it. It's amazing. Um, and yeah, so you're going to be talking to us today about what's going to be going on in 2026.
Yeah, it's an interesting energy, I think, for 2026.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to stay, when I was getting my download, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to like make this super positive somehow, flip it around. And I'm interested to hear what other people have felt about next year too. As always, there's always a balance, so there's always positive. So don't
Yeah.
worry,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. And we're all in good hands. So thank you there, girl. That's amazing. I'm glad you're here again. And our next speaker of the day is going to be Coralie Fox, all the way from Halifax, Nova Scotia. She's one of my homies. And you're unmuted. That's perfect. And so Coralie is a veteran of our program. She is a spiritual growth coach, soul reader, master teacher, energy practitioner, business mentor. She's my engineer in the background. She is my beach walking coach. She's made and a really dear friend. So anything else you want to add to that, you
Well,
superstar,
no,
you?
I think that covers it, Anne. Thanks so much. I love this event. I attended before I became one of the panelists, and yeah, I just love it. It gets me ready for next year. I love to hear what all of my other participants have to say, and I love the themes that come through because
Mhm.
often we get some overlapping messages that's just fantastic. So if
Oh,
you're a first timer, I know you're going to love this.
awesome. Thank you so much for being here again. And then we have all the way from Sedona. We've got Maureen Webb. Hang on, let me give you a spotlight. There we go. There she is.
Hello.
Hello, yourself. So, Maureen is a certified life coach. She is a human design expert extraordinaire, gene keys expert, astrologer, tarot reader master. She's a teacher. She's a crazy teacher. She's so good. These guys have all been teachers in my community, right? So, our community. It's amazing. And she just launched a new program called Soul Star Mapping, which is, you'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. But I just want to say congratulations. I know what that takes to do a launch. So good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is so much fun to be here. I love this event and I made the prettiest presentation, which if you have ever been to one of my classes, you know that is clutch for me.
Yeah.
I need a
Yeah.
pretty presentation. So I am incredibly jazzed to be here to talk about 2026 from the lens of human design and astrology. We're doing only the outer planets because you only gave me 10 minutes and you know how much I like to talk. So I had to like just
Yeah,
make it a little bit smaller, but it's going to be so much fun. And thank you so much again for inviting me.
always.
And hello to everybody who is out there who's watching us. You guys are going to have an amazeballs time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, girl. And next on the roster, we have our very own Marilyn Young. And Marilyn comes all the way from Calgary, Alberta, land of snow. I'm sorry, I'll get over
So,
it. I will, I promise. I'll get over it. So Marilyn is an extreme empath. Oh my goodness, guys. Like she is the extreme empath. She's an intuitive counselor. She's an angel card, certified angel card reader and numerologist. And she's an energetic healer. And she hosts our Oracle shares in the Clarity Seekers community. And we would be lost without her. So please welcome Marilyn.
thanks, and thanks for having me back this year. That's
Oh,
awesome. I'm excited about today too. When I pulled some cards for today, which I'll share with you guys, they all look great. So maybe Laura, they're the balance. Maybe we'll balance each other out, which is good. So great to see everybody here, and I'm looking forward to giving you the messages from the angels and see
yeah.
how they're going to support us in 2026. So
They
thanks,
always
Anne.
they always do. Thank you for being
Yeah,
here. I love it.
yeah.
Okay, and then we have Sherry Donovan, who is new to the program. We are thrilled that she said yes. Thank you so much for being here, girl.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Where did I go?
You're here. We
Okay.
see you.
Okay. There we go. Sorry. That's it. That isn't a kick in my ass, and I don't know what is. Thank you so much for having me. And I am excited to hear what everyone has to say. This is not only my first time as one of your panelists here, but it's also my first time participating. So I know from what I've been getting for downloads for 2026. So I can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say
Yeah.
and the overlaps, the collaborations, and everything. So I'm just a little jazzed up myself for today, and I just a little vibrating on what's going to come out. And I think there's so much coming up, and I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, we're so thrilled that you said yes. Like many wouldn't, right? Just
I
teasing.
never know what comes out of my mouth, so I guess it was meant to be.
No, that's why we needed you for comic relief.
Or
But
something.
Sherry is an amazingly gifted psychic intuitive. She's a reflexologist. She's a pain management specialist here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Reiki practitioner. She's a workshop facilitator. Oh my goodness, guys. If you have not been to one of her events with her sister, Lana Grant, the Healing Sisters, I'm sure you've seen them online. If you haven't, you need to follow them. They're crazy. And there's a big trip coming up to Portugal, which is coming up in the spring, isn't it? It's in May. Yeah. So they've got and I've had the privilege of not only teaching at one of their events, but also attending the event. And man, if there's ever a group that over deliver it, it's Sherry and her sister Lana. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. All right. So each one of us is going to spend about 10 minutes sharing our thoughts on what's coming up for 2026, if that's even possible that we can do it. But we've all got our little handy timers. I'm going to be relying a lot on my notes because I got a lot going on that I'm trying to kind of watch too. So forgive me for that. As I said earlier, please do not post your questions until we give you the go ahead. All right. So Sherry will be our last speaker up today. So after Sherry has done speaking, we're going to open up questions at that point. So when you're posting your questions, I want you to type the first name of the psychic you wish to address, okay? Followed by, and if you don't really care who gets it, maybe we just intuitively choose amongst ourselves who answers it, then just put in panel, okay? Just panel. And I want you to give some thought to the questions that you ask. Like, give it some thought before you post it, because you might only get one shot, right, at being able to address us. So make sure that you give some thought to it and keep it very short, not a big paragraph, not a long, just something really short and succinct. If it's a numerology question, I'd really appreciate if you put your date of birth in there. And rather than putting just all numbers, please write out the month. So March, M-A-R-C-H, right? Just make sure that that's in there. Given the number of people looking to connect with us, we're not going to be able to engage in full-on conversations with you. You will be muted. However, the time just doesn't allow for it. There's like 56 people in here right now, and more to come, I imagine. But you will be sent to a link to a really cool resource page after the event is over. Give me a little bit of time this afternoon to get that done. But there'll be a link to the recording that you can watch after the fact. And there's going to be access to each one of the speakers. Okay, so all of their website information is going to be there. Everybody has provided some kind of a bonus, right? So it's really worth your while to check out the resource page. All right, you give you a chance to connect with these guys and take advantage of the beautiful resources they're offering, discounts, all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to try our very best to get to all of you, but like I said, just make sure that you make your questions really short and good. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening in 2026. This is me. I gotta set my timer because otherwise I will go over. Somebody's gonna have to wave the pen at me. All right, great. Where's my stopwatch? It was here. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Start. There. Technology did not fail me. Okay, so numerology, that's my deal, right? That's my jam. And it's, numerology is really the soul's way of showing up and showing us the season that we're going to be entering into. So we might not have control of the timing of everything, right? But we can choose how we meet it. We can always choose how we respond to what's happening. That's key. So before I dive into the numbers, I want to offer a little bit of perspective around the year ahead coming up. So I want you to consider, what if the challenges that you're facing aren't setbacks? Rather, maybe they're signals, maybe they're gifts, okay? What if the obstacles that are frustrating you are actually invitations to shift, to grow? 2025 has asked us to peel back all the layers that are not serving us any longer. So it's asking us to really consider what we need to heal most, right? So as we move through the end, we're almost there, right? We're almost at the end of a 9-year. I could spotlight myself, couldn't I? Come on, guys. Hang on. I don't even know how to spotlight myself. Okay, how about that? There. How's that? Is that better? So as we move through the end of this cycle and we're moving into another, the world is handing us a lot of contrast right now. We are going from a 9 universal year and we're moving into a 1 universal year. That is a lot of contrast. Some of it's going to be uncomfortable. Some of it's going to be confronting, but there's a lot of, but beneath all of that disruption that we're feeling, we're all feeling a little bit anxious. There's a gift inside the challenge if we're willing to see it. So that's the lens that we're going to be carrying forward. So the collective influence, if we can just review for a second, of 2025, that 9 universal year, has been a pressure cooker. Okay, it's been a universal global pressure cooker. It's about endings. It's about completions. It's about emotional clearing. Is there anybody in this group that can say they didn't go through some of that? I mean, come on. It's the final chapter of a 9-year cycle. And so anything that's outdated, that's no longer serving you, it's going to get pushed to the surface for you to examine. So you can see this everywhere, right? Take, the United States, and I'm not taking this from a political standpoint, but rather more of an energetic one to take a look at. We're watching systems strain under the pressure. Identities are shifting. The collective values, they're all being reevaluated as we speak. And that's the 9 energy, right? The old stories have to be rewritten. They have to come to the surface. We have to see them before we can actually make the changes that we need to make. And then there's Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. And many of you know my family's from Jamaica. It was devastating. It was a complete clean sweep. But I've been really inspired by seeing all these people singing in the streets and helping each other rebuild, and just, complete devastation from coast to coast. And yet they're there helping each other. And you know why? It's because the 9 universal year is not about I. If there was ever going to be a hurricane that was going to wipe out a country, really, this year was the right one, because this is not about I, it's about we, right? It's a humanitarian effort. So it's urging us to step outside of ourselves and what we need, and to see others and see what it is they need, okay? And the deeper lesson is that life can take your possessions, life can take your home, life can take anything, right? But it can never take your dignity, It can't take your courage, your resiliency, and your gratitude of spirit. That can never be taken from you, regardless of what happens. So the 9 is going to strip away what is temporary. You need to remember that. It's going to take away what is temporary anyways. It'll never take away what's indestructible. So the collective influence of 2026, that's the 1 universal year, okay? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, right? Adds to 10, 1 and 0 equal 1. So if 2025 was the clearing, then 2026 is the blueprint for us to move forward into. It launches a brand new cycle. Now, I know nothing about astrology. I know Maureen can help us out here with this later, but I'm told that all the planets are moving into a different sign or something in 2026, and this has not happened for 9,000 years. Okay, so I do believe there's something kind of cool coming up. So we want to expect new movements, new innovations, new voices rising, new leadership, relationships will be prioritized, personal identities, and it's empowering. It's firm, but it's empowering. Okay, so it rewards courage and it rewards clarity. It's not a time to be all loosey-goosey. Remember, you're only going to get a 1 universal year once in a 9-year cycle. Okay, so let's take a look at the life path numbers. Each one of you likely know what your life path number is. And if you don't, you can ask me later, and I can review it for you. But if you happen to be a life path number 1, the positive side of 2026 for you is all about new beginnings everywhere. Very strong self-direction is what I wanted to say. But there's always a challenge, right? So that's going to be about being impatient. And, other people might just need a minute, right? So cool your jets a little bit. If you're life path number 2, the positive influence there would be increased intuition and sensitivity. That sharpens really beautifully this year for you. The challenge may be the pace could feel a little intense for you. Life path 2 is kind of like things to kind of go a little slow and steady and not too much going on. So you want to hold your boundaries, hold them gently, and allow things to come to you. Be ready to receive. Is a good thing for you guys. Life path number 3, the positive side is creative breakthroughs, right? Again, this is beautiful. This is a real sweet lineup for those who are the life path number 3s because creativity is like on fire. So breakthroughs, right? Insights. I didn't see that coming moments kind of thing would be coming up. Being a little bit more confident in the way that you express yourself. The challenge is the follow through because you guys can be kind of wingy a little bit. So that's, that can kind of get you a little bit frustrated. So you got to stay the course. If you happen to be a life path number 4, the positive side of that is it's a very grounding year. 4 is 4 posts in the ground. You've heard me say it before. Building stability, building systems, taking a course, focusing on whatever it is you want to create and making sure that you are not focusing on what you don't want. You have to be very, very focused on what you do want. You've got the umbrella of the one shining on you saying, let's do this. Let's start something. Let's start a new foundation. So if you're life path 4, I expect this is going to be a very good year for you. The challenge is that flexibility is going to be required even when it's not your favorite thing. 4s don't tend to be ones that jump up to be flexible, but it is possible. On the other hand, the life path number 5s, these are the flexible ones, right? The positive side is all about reinvention, and it's about new adventures, new opportunities, new things, expansiveness, a little bit of restlessness going on. So the challenge could be that commitment might be difficult for you. It can show up and you might want to sidestep it, right? So remember, 1, the universal year of 1, we're talking about starting something new. So you have to be very committed to that. The life path number 6, the positive side is leadership in relationships. It's going to be about family. It's going to be about new responsibility to communities and such. It's examining what's your responsibility, what isn't your responsibility. Maybe dropping the need for perfection a little bit. Maybe a new side of you could show up and allow a little bit more flexibility in that way. The challenge is avoiding taking on too much emotion, too much investment of emotion into what you feel you need to be responsible for, because many 6s will measure their worth based on how responsible they can be. So it's time to examine that. The life path 7s, the positive side is insight and spiritual clarity really starts to deepen. You start feeling it, you see it, you see the clarity that you need. The challenge is this is a year of 1, giddy up and go. The 7 kind of likes to sit back, right, and be a little bit more reflective. So you kind of have to get into the game if you want something to happen. Life path number 8, the positive side is power moves. It's about financial growth. It's about asserting yourself and establishing new boundaries. If you've been having a little bit of boundary issue, this is a great year to establish them. No shortcuts around your integrity this year. Absolutely none. Life path 9, the positive side, is a year, it's a really great year to guide and to teach and to share wisdom in ways that you haven't done before. Remember, the 1 emphasizes originality. The challenge, you may be trying to still integrate 2025's need for the endings. As you move into the one universal year. So you might be kind of having one foot in the back door, right? And one foot in the front door. So make sure that you're kind of aware of that. Master 11s, the positive side is intuitive leadership, meaningful visibility. This is going to be a good year for you guys, the 11s, because you guys are double ones, double the need for originality, double the need for creativity, authenticity, originality, all those sorts of things, leadership. This is the year to get her done. Okay. If you haven't started it, start it, right? The challenge could be you might not be very grounded, okay, because it's going to be very demanding on you. Master 22 4s, positive side, this is a really good time to build a legacy for somebody. This could be related to shush, shush, stop it. Hey, I love technology. Positive side, legacy building energy. Okay. This is like writing a book, getting it published. This is about creating a course. This is about creating a video that's going to go viral or something. It's going to be really good for that. Big visions become a reality where you can really turn them into form, right? The 4 is all about creating form. But the challenge is the need for perfectionism, and that can kind of slow you down. You only have 365 days in the year, right? So get her done. The positive 33 6s, the positive side, it's a year to uplift, it's a year to teach, it's a year to find new ways to do that, new ways to express yourself, to be more supportive, to be a healer on a wider scale, to, create more, tap more into your vision, right? That can support humanity, because the 33 6s are all about that. You might burn yourself out, though. That's the challenge, right? If you stretch yourself a little too thin, because the 6s always need to feel responsible for everything. That's a choice. Okay. So that is it. 2025 is asking us to release and let go, and 2026 is asking us to begin. Okay. So we kind of got, one foot on the brakes until about April. You're still going to feel like you have one foot on the brakes and you got one foot on the gas. Okay. I would be more in favor of the gas than the brakes. And that is it. And I only went 30 seconds over. Yay, me. All right, next up. Let's see, we've got Laura Warren coming up. Let's see. Spotlight you there, girlfriend. Oops, I didn't want to add a spotlight. I wanted to make you the spotlight. Just a second. I love technology.
Awesome when it works.
When it works. I want to turn you on. Just okay, hang on. There she is.
I think you got it. Hello, everyone. Oh, I know, Anne, sometimes I listen to the other people and I go, yep, yep, yep. And I heard a lot of common threads in your assessment of 2026. I feel like there's a few themes for 2026, and one of the themes that came forward was actually mastery. So we're actually getting a lot of high frequency energy coming into the atmosphere from the galactic field. It's coming in at such a rate that that's why I feel like in my work, I feel like the veil is so thin. It's like holy. It's like not a veil anymore. It's like crochet or something. There's like holes in it. So the veil between this world and the next it's not just thinning, it's like disintegrating. And we're having more contact, more connection with our galactic friends. And that's why so many of us are learning we're star seeds, learning our, roots. Our ancestors are really, really strong right now, and the ancestors that we have that we know on Earth are actually, their origin is a galactic origin. So when I was tuning into 2026, I was feeling all this energy coming in of the ancestors saying, look, we're pulling you back to your roots. We're showing you where you came from. Our ancient practices are more advanced in an energetic and spiritual sense than anything we've been doing in the past few hundred years. So it's like, in some ways, you never lose your way, but in some ways we've been off track and the ancestors are pulling us back. They're saying, come look at the practices, come look at how we connected to nature, come look at how we connected to the universe, to the stars, to God consciousness, because we're missing that. We're missing that connection. And we're really being pulled back into our heart center more than ever. And I saw Sherry come with a beautiful green sweater, and all I could think of was heart energy, heart energy, heart energy. Our hearts are calling to us. Sit in your heart and learn who you are and where you want to go. The energy of 2026, this mastery energy, is going to pull you into your heart center, and it's going to ask you, who are you? And what did you come here to do? And I'm just realizing I didn't turn on my timer, so I'm doing it right now. Uh, uh, it's the heart center energy is passion and fire. It's courageous energy. It wants to push forward. It wants to stand up for what it believes in, and it wants to fight for people. So we've been seeing this revolutionary energy of 2025 of people standing up and saying, no, like this has to change. This has to be better. And we're moving into 2026 into a time where people will be pulled into their heart to realize not only who they are, but what do they want to be? What do they want to stand for in this world? And what is their talent? What is their ability? And how do they achieve that mastery? So there's a strong surge of independence for 2026, a strong surge of doing what is not only what looks right on paper or what looks right in your sort of your thinking. This is what feels right. People are no longer able to go forward and do things that don't feel right. So you're going to see a lot of people kind of backtracking, I think, like in the kind of world stage. We're going to see a lot of people backing off of the things that they were pushing forward with, even though they were pushing forward with not the right kind of energy. We're in this authentic space, this authentic energy space where there's no way we can continue to push forward with things that don't have the right energy behind them. So 2026 is going to show you sometimes how things are falling apart, and we have to be very careful to not fall into the place of worry that, oh my gosh, this system is falling apart. Things are falling apart so they can be put back together properly, and we have been talking about this for years. Like I think Anne and I were trying to count the years that we've been doing Six Psychics, and I feel like this message has been coming to stand in your truth, stand in your authenticity, to know that the systems are crumbling and it's okay because new systems are coming. We've been talking about this for years. We've been even saying the veil is thinning and la la. We've been saying these things for years. 2026 is the year. It is the year. You've had all the time, all the warnings, all the awareness to pull yourself up, and be in the right place. And this is it. It is happening now. This is where kind of what we say in the Maritimes, this is where the rubber hits the road, like it's time. It's time for you to move forward with everything that you are in an authentic space with your passion, your ability, your fire. And I was picking up on all these things about the pendulum swinging. And so we often see these wild swings in our culture, in our political field, in, the public kind of stage. We see these wild swings sometimes. And we're in kind of like that high contrast that Anne was talking about. We're in a high contrast time, but that's because you cannot become a master without trials. So if you are in the game here and you are on a spiritual path, you will never reach the mastery, the level of mastery you're seeking without the trials. So the trials are being presented to you. They are a gift. They are a learning. It's time for you to look at everything as if it's happening for you. There's nothing happening that is there to hurt you. It is not there to hurt you. It is there for you, for your soul evolvement. This inner fulfillment is a big deal for 2026. So actually feeling fulfilled in your relationships, in your jobs, in, your path, your purpose. This is huge. You're even going to see this kind of trickle down into people's diets, their activity, their social engagements. People want inner fulfillment. They don't want surface stuff anymore. It's not about how things look, or it's not about how they look to other people. That's not going to matter anymore. Nobody's going to care about that. They're in the place where if you're really on a spiritual path, they're in a place where they really only want that inner fulfillment, that reward that comes from doing what you came here to do, what you are meant to do. Um, this thing about being in the heart. Being in the heart center is quieter. The mind is busy. There's all these thoughts and things going on, and people drop into their heart center and then they get nervous because they go, wait a second, this is too simple. There's nothing going on in here. I don't have any stress or worry. I do or I don't do. I like or I don't like, So dropping into the heart center is very different. And I think it's a good thing to talk about being in the heart center, what that feels like, because sometimes it's very quiet, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's a dark place. And if you're not getting the messages that you're asking for, to stay in the heart center and really listen to the whispers, listen to the heart, because the heart is always speaking to you, but it doesn't yell and scream at you. It doesn't give you ultimatums. It doesn't ask you to do something, like there's no like yes or no. There's no black or white. It's all the heart is only showing you feeling and saying it's your choice. Do you want to feel this way? Do you want to feel this way? Because I feel like some people dropping into the heart center for them might make them feel like everything is a little bit too quiet, or maybe it might feel like a stuck place or a dark place, and it's not. Really allow yourself to relax into letting your heart guide you through the next year. Because if you can do that, what will happen is everything around you can be enriched. So whether it's your work, your path, your relationships, your experiences, whether you want to travel, whether you feel like, you need companionship, really taking yourself into the heart center means that you delete all the noise. There's no noise, there's no second guessing. It's just a beautiful place to be. And it does feel different. And there's no distractions there. We have a million distractions in our life. We have phones and technology and social media and all these things, but that's all head work. We want to be in the heart. The heart doesn't always give you instant gratification. So we have to be used to being in that fulfilling, full energy. Okay, Anne. I, I, I think I just offloaded everything that was on my mind.
Well, I was watching Maureen over there. I think she just peed herself a little. She got real excited there for a minute.
I love you.
Well, that really, really spoke to me. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for that. That was a very, very powerful message. I love that. You kind of
Well,
had us
you
a
know
little
what?
nervous that it was going to be a
I
little
was
gloomy, but man, that was
I know
awesome.
I was so worried because the energy felt so heavy, but I think it's because it's such a shift.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not using our heads like we used to, and we don't need to. That's the
Mhm.
thing. So it's such a different way of looking at going forward for most people, because everybody is all, practicality and logic, and the divine doesn't understand logic and practicality. The
Right.
divine is only about what needs to happen. And it doesn't matter how crazy it sounds to our human self. So I think it's just a big shift in thinking. And I don't want people to feel like, that they're being abandoned by their guides, because in your heart center, sometimes your guides are quieter because they're
Hmm.
allowing you to be guided by yourself. So there's a lot of things that happen in the heart center that's so different, and we can't use things in our environment to distract us anymore.
Yeah, and I feel too that it's going to be a lot of surrendering and trusting in something bigger than ourselves, the divine, whatever the divine means to us. But it's also going to be a wait and see. It's going to
Mm,
be, having our hands open and saying, okay, give me what it is I need, whatever I've been working for. And as you said, so much has been falling away over the years. And you're right, we've been talking about this for a long time. And this is the ascension. Like this is the ascension process. We are all rising in vibration. You guys would not be here at this event if you weren't intentionally trying to raise your vibration. I think it's such wonderful company to keep. And it can be a little scary, it can be a little uncertain, but we got this, right? We're never going to be given more than we can handle. And anything that's intended for us will never be taken from us.
that's
So,
right.
right? Thank you, girlfriend. That was amazing. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, next up is Miss Coralie.
All right.
All
Thank you very
right.
much. Okay, let's get into a comfortable position and let's close our eyes, and I'll walk you through a little bit of a guided meditation, and then we're going to bring in a channeled message. All right. So I love what Laura was saying about your heart space. So I invite you to bring your hands right to the center of your chest, to your heart chakra. And let's start by taking a couple of deep breaths and really settle into that stillness that Laura was talking about. And I invite you to invite your own spirit guides and angels and elementals, any of your allies from the other side, to just come and hang out with us. They're already here, but let's gather them in close and just feel how the energy shifts for you. And you have probably noticed how the energy has been feeling a little wonky lately, actually, for some time. And what often happens is that our rational mind says, ooh, things feel weird, or I don't understand how to label it, or it feels uncertain. And so then our nervous system takes that in as maybe I'm not safe. And so one of our important jobs, one of your important jobs, especially going into this new year, is how can I feel comfortable in the discomfort? How can I feel grounded and centered even if things are changing around me, or the energy feels wobbly, or I feel wobbly, or I'm having emotions come in and I'm not sure if they're mine, or if they're from a past life, or if I'm feeling the person who's standing next to me's emotions. And so whatever that is, we want to be able to go, that's all right. I'm safe. I'm all right. I am always held and supported. I am always loved unconditionally. And I want you to just breathe that in. Because sometimes our ego wants to be able to name and be in charge and make sure that, how come I'm not being seen? How come I'm not getting what I need here? The ego is almost like a little toddler that has no problem having a temper tantrum in a public place. And so we can surround that part of ourselves with love too, because we need our ego sometimes, to be the person that we're meant to be and be that human and walk on the stage of our life and in this human experience. But we can also surround that by love and remind that part of ourselves that we are safe. We are always endlessly supported and unconditionally loved. And you can do that with any part of yourself, any part that is having a hard time, any part that is saying, wait a second, getting caught in old, stale stories or old patterns that don't serve you anymore. And so let's also feel appreciation for our body that brings in all of these sensations as it feels this energy. And I invite you to just keep a sense open of either you're listening or maybe you're visualizing with your eyes closed, or maybe you're hearing, or maybe you're open to that little knowing that comes in, your own intuition as we do this session and as we do this guided meditation together, and just see what comes in for you. Don't judge. Allow your rational mind to take a little bit of a break and see what comes in for you. All right, so let's start by seeing how far you've come. I want you to think about earlier in your life when you would get so wrapped up in, why am I feeling this way? In fact, what even am I feeling? It feels like 30 emotions all at once, or completely overwhelmed by a situation that you couldn't understand why something was happening or what to do about it. And look how far you've come. It's not that you don't feel difficult emotions or that you don't have difficult situations, but you have so many tools now. You have worked so hard on understanding how you can support yourself, how you can help yourself, how you can take a break and find that stillness for yourself, how you can get support from others, how you can get support from the other side. You have done so much work, and I want you to feel gratitude to yourself for that. And breathe that in. And trust that you have the skills and the tools and the knowledge to get what you need from what is coming in the new year. And it's not that you will stop looking. You might continue to find more tools and develop new skills and develop new abilities and deepen your intuition and deepen your trust and surrender and deepen your ability to let go of resistance. But do not lose sight of what you have done up until now and appreciate it, because you have worked so hard. And it is okay to rest. It is all right to rest and relax and take breaks. Your physical body needs that, but also your mental body, your emotional body. Our culture is so wrapped up in doing and knocking things off the list and being very busy and wearing that as a badge of honor. And we encourage you to do different. We encourage you to step back, not stopping, but being very discerning about what is important, what fits into your values. What do you feel like doing? What would feel good to finish right now? What would be fulfilling, as Laura's word was, to complete and to have, knocked off the to-do list? And then take a moment to rest or to consider what the next thing is, and to give yourself that time and to build that time into everything that you do, so that regardless of what happens, you are grounded, you are centered, you are able to be the eye of the storm and the eye of the hurricane. I want you to think about what you have left to let go of for the rest of the year, and maybe a little into the beginning of next year. What patterns are you ready to let go of? Where do you get caught in old stories? I'm not enough, or I don't do enough, or I need to prove myself, or I need to be, seen and heard and valued in a greater way. What stories are you ready to let go of? And I want you to imagine a big oak door that you're holding the handle and you're looking through the doorway. And I want you to see that old story that old pattern, that old maybe pattern of people pleasing or over giving or overdoing or putting others first before you check with yourself. And whatever it is, I want you to push it outside that open door, and then I want you to close the door on it. We are closing the door on all those old patterns and old stories and old survival ways of being in the world that do not serve. And we are saying goodbye to it. We are releasing ourselves from the energy of those things now with our heavy oak door. And then I want you to do one more thing. I want you to open it again, and all of those patterns and stories and everything you let go of is gone. It's flown off in the wind. And then I want you to see or sense and feel what is on the other side of that door for you coming for 2026. What would you like? What would be fulfilling? What would feel good? What would bring you joy? What would make you feel like, this is what I was meant to be doing, or this is how I wanted to make a good outcome from this difficult situation, or this is how I want to be in the world. And I want you to see, sense, and feel it on the other side of that door. And then I want you to take a deep breath in, and then I want you to walk through that door. All right. Thank you for doing that with me.
Wowzers. That was fun. Thank you for that. Wow, what a great way to prepare us all for 2026. I love that visualization, Corley. That was amazing. Why are you muted? I want you to talk to me. There.
Sorry, I muted myself.
No worries. No, seriously, I wanted to say thank you. That was really, really great. And I think it was something that was very, very necessary to kind of set the tone for all the information that we're taking in today, to be able to actually, whatever we're going to take away from today, to be able to apply it in that way. I could literally see myself opening this door and standing out in front of just the sky, like the sky's the limit kind of thing.
All right.
Very, very open, very blue, very sunny, and not having any fear whatsoever. So wow, that was really cool. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so Miss Maureen Webb is next up. Let's see, where are you? Where did you go? Maureen. Huh. Okay, just a second. She's disappeared from my screen. There we go. There she is. Hang on. I'm going to figure out how to unmute you too. There you go.
And did you give me access to sharing my screen?
Not
Oh, I'm going to
yet.
send the request.
Not yet. I had to find you first. That was that. Okay. And then,
If I'm not causing a little bit of chaos, am I really here?
not really.
Like, it's just how this works.
Okay. I don't know. Hang on. There.
Cool.
I don't know how that worked. You did that yourself. So.
Oh yeah, no, that was like, okay. Can everybody see my pretty presentation I'm so excited about?
Yeah, we can see it. Looks great.
Okay. All right. First and foremost, I want to thank Anne, Laura, and Coralie for giving us their beautiful perspective on 2026. And if we're ready to get this party started, I have a lot of information, so I will try to go as quickly as possible. I have hit the button for my 10 minutes, so let's get this party started, shall we? So everybody, hello and welcome to my presentation on 2026. And what I am calling 2026 is the year of identity, voice, and destiny. So why does this matter? 2026 is a threshold year. All of the outer planets are shifting signs, which is what we are going to actually talk about today because it is that powerful. Like Anne had said previously, this is something that hasn't happened in forever, ever. Now, with this comes a lot of identity work. Identities are going to be restructured. The frequency of the world changes in 2026. Let's start with Daddy Saturn. Saturn is all about embodiment, discipline, and integration. In 2026, he is doing the most. So you see these numbers, these are all of the human design gates that Saturn is moving through in 2026. This little R right here is a retrograde, a time of retrograde. So as you can see, Saturn moves from emotional mastery to identity purification to new vision and then structural rebuilding. Now, the next slide, I'm not going to lie, has a lot of information. So if you guys want these slides, let me know and I will absolutely give them to you. I love knowing when each gate is going to hit. So this gorgeous slide, even if you guys want to take a picture with your phone, feel free. This lets you know when each gate is happening, the dates and the retrograde of gate 17 and when it goes direct. So this is why I got so excited when Laura mentioned the heart, because gate 25 is literally in the heart center in human design. It is known as the gate of the innocent heart. This is about purification of identity, releasing your ego and what you thought you were, returning to who you truly are in this lifetime. And one of the most beautiful and fun things about this is it shocks you when you become your authentic self. It is an awakening and authenticity in you that no other time in history we haven't had it any access to. And also, this is a huge year for truth without distortion. I truly do believe we can see this coming through. I live in, the United States. We are seeing this politically play out. It's going to play out even wider, worldwide. The core of identity frequency in 2026 is gate 25. Everything else that you do unfolds from how well you can hold the energy of gate 25. Now, it's not only Saturn, oh, it's Neptune. So Neptune in 2026 also is starting out. We are actually in gate 25 right now. We are in a retrograde. It retrogrades to 17. For just a little bit, I'm going to give you the calendar of events in the next slide. And as you can see, he's in it for the long haul in 2026. I'm so sorry. Neptune is about dissolution, spirituality, and your soul's truth. We move in 2026 from identity purification to dissolving old perspectives to rewriting our beliefs so that we can have deep soul unraveling and we then rebirth our true self. No pressure. It's totally cool. It's going to be great. It's going to be fine. It's going to be so easy. I'm so glad I can't see anybody's face. So, when does all of this happen in 2026? I'm so glad you asked because Maureen has the details. As you can see, we are in gate 25 until May 23rd. We go into gate 17, hit 17's retrograde, go back into gate 25, and then he's retrograde for a bit. And then starting December 13th of 2026 goes direct again. So this, I really do believe, especially because Neptune has the ability to kind of cloud our judgment, this is going to be 2026 is going to be an experience where we finally take off the rose-colored glasses and see truly how people are in their hearts as well as in our own hearts. Are we ready for Uranus? Are we ready for Uranus? Oh my gosh, I just lost my timer and I want to make sure that I get through everything. I got 4 minutes left. All right. So, Uranus. Uranus is all about mutation, disruption, and awakening. Now, Uranus, even though he's only going to be moving through 2 gates, he's kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal in 2026. This is where we move from our authentic contribution of gate 8 to the embodied expression, then presence in that truth, and then we end the year refining your voice and leadership. You want those dates? I can already feel it. Bam! Shazam! Go ahead and take a picture if you would like. You can see it doesn't seem like a lot, but these are pretty potent gates. I know for myself, my bridge gate is gate 20. And man, when Uranus hits gate 20, y'all are going to be sick of me as how much you see and how crazy the ideas are going to be. I am so, so excited about this because there is a sense of adventure in Uranus's travels through gate 8 and gate 20. These are Gemini gates. This is going to be, I personally believe, like, it's going to be so much fun. Like, if you're used to, just everything being really boring, this is not going to be your year. I really feel like Uranus is going to have some fun with us. We are going to end with Jupiter because we're saving the best for last. Jupiter is all about expansion, meaning, purpose, and growth. Now, as you can see, he also does way more than all of the other outer planets. He moves and shakes pretty fast. Now, you can see like the actual timeline. I love this. We go from preparation to new cycles. This is where we're starting 2026, to the expression, to becoming the leader we know we are. And then we reflect, and then we know direction, and then there's clarity. Oh my God, I love this timeline for Uranus. It makes me so happy. And Jupiter expands the path you are becoming. Are you ready for those dates? Because you know I got it. Now, because Jupiter goes through so many gates, I kind of just brought it down into 5 main pieces of Jupiter's journey through 2026. We start out with the retrograde and we go all the way through. We go direct. We have a mid-year expression, purpose, and clarity, and then finally devotion. Now, I got 45 seconds. How do we integrate this? Saturn cleans the structure. Neptune cleanses the soul. Uranus rewrites our voice. And then Jupiter amplifies our path. 2026 is alignment from the inside out. One final thing. I want you in 2026 to trust your authority, to honor your voice, and to follow the path that expands you. Thank you so much for being here. I think I actually did it in 10, right now, 10 minutes. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I got a little excited about that. So yeah, here we are.
So
I did it. I did it.
I think people, you're witnessing your first Christmas miracle. That was
I
amazing. I
always
love it.
go over time. I don't know how this
No, you did a
is
great job.
a
You know
Christmas
what?
marathon.
That
Woo!
Maureen has, if you
Okay.
guys have not spent any time with Maureen, you're really missing something here. Look, all the hearts coming up for you. Um, you're really missing something. She's been teaching in our community for the Clarity Seekers community for quite a while. And I just, from the day I asked her to do it, she's like, no, she's kind of a little bit, but she's blossomed into this like supersonic, amazing teacher who is just so passionate about her craft and knows how to break it down so everybody you might not get all of it, but it wasn't too foreign. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
really, you do need to follow her. I did make an observation
Yes, ma'am.
that I want to talk about for a second. Gate 25. Okay.
Yes. I
So
love it.
yeah, well, the numerologist in me says I got to talk about that. So to me, that means patiently learning how to receive and
Mhm.
accepting the change that's imminent.
Yes.
Would you, is
So
that
when
fair to
we
say?
Yeah, so when we take a look at gate 25 from the lens of the gene keys, it's
Mhm.
three different frequencies.
Yeah.
It is the shadow, the gift, and the divine essence.
Yeah, that's the seven.
In the shadow, it is constriction.
Mhm.
So many of us are just so tight. We don't want to like go out into the world. We want to be held by our limitations, right? Like
Yeah.
because it feels safe, right?
Yeah.
And we just had Pluto leave the gate of limitations. So that feels comfortable. But we are being asked in 2025 to love ourselves. Because when we love ourselves and lead with our heart, we then connect to universal love.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it's like one of those light brights. As soon as you connect your heart to that light bright, it glows. And then the one next to you, oh, somebody else, their heart, boom. And then all of a sudden,
The sky opens.
everybody is lit up and we're all collectively moving forward to a higher frequency. But it really is about really loving all of your parts, all of them, because they all deserve love, because you are love.
And
They
that
all
really,
are.
I love that you said that because that really embraces 2025's nine universal energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the nine is
Yeah.
all about, the collective. It's about
Mm-hmm.
humanitarianism. It's about love. It's about
Yeah.
losing judgment, seeing people for who they are, meeting them where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
overlooking whatever weaknesses they have. It's about total acceptance. But in order for us to be able to accept another, we have to accept ourselves first. So that's been a lot of what's been going on in 2025. So I really feel that you nailed that. Thank you for that. It's
You
amazing.
are very welcome. Thank you for having me. This was like the best 10 minutes of my day. This
Well,
is fantastic. Thank you.
everybody's asking for the slides. So is it possible for you to send me the
Girl, you know, all you
presentation?
got to do is ask, and I
Just
will
did.
absolutely send them to you.
Okay, and
100%.
thank you, hon. And
You're
I will
welcome.
attach that to Maureen's information on the resource page that you guys are all going to get after the fact. All right.
Awesome. Thank you,
Perfect. That's a real
Pam.
treat, guys. Thank you so much there, girl. And the next one up is Ms. Marilyn Young. There she is, live and in person. And let's see if we can get you unmuted. There. I'll have this figured out by the time I get to Sherry.
There. Can you hear me now?
I
Good.
can. Well, good luck trying to share the screen because I really don't know how you're doing that from behind the scenes.
I'm gonna try and share here and get my presentation going for you guys. There. Can you see everything?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There we go. So, welcome everybody. Good to see you. And we're going to talk about the 5 pillars for 2026. And these pillars came to me through a friend who channeled Archangel Metatron. And he said, you got to talk about these 5 areas. So who can argue with Archangel Metatron? Not me. So I'm going
You
to
can
start
try.
my timer. And here we go. So the 5 pillar messages are brought to you from the Angel Wisdom Tarot that's by Radley Valentine. And then Archangel Michael popped up the other day when I was doing this and he said he has a bonus message at the end. So we'll see what he has to say as well. So the first pillar is that of health. And our card for that is the 6 of air. And when we first look at it, it looks kind of scary, like they're escaping from a really dark time, which is true because the card itself says this year we are moving into the end of challenging times. Things are looking up, and it actually even says the end of depression or an illness. And this is related to yourself and your family members and the impact you have on each other. So you can see that they're in their boat, they're moving forward, and they're moving on water, which is representative of emotions. It's nice and calm, so emotional issues will resolve this year. There'll be relief from physical pain. And as the card mentions, it'll be a welcome relief and finding our way to a peaceful place, especially emotionally. And the one thing that stood out for me was that swan on the front of the boat, the swan boat. And right away, Spirit said the symbolism of the swan will carry us forward this year. And the swan symbolizes faith, surrender, and trust in spirit, and gratitude that life is precious and a sacred gift. So really trusting that Spirit is supporting us in our movement forward around health and health issues. And then they popped in and said, well, there's also an ugly duckling analogy. So here, so they're saying, remember the story, the ugly duckling had to go through some pretty hard times. Look what he grew into, a beautiful swan. And that's us working through our health issues to come out to the beautiful life that we're meant to live. And this is also the air suit, which is about thoughts and ego. And those swords on the right-hand side of the boat in the water, Spirit said, those negative thoughts are laid to rest. And what's going to be moving us forward is that oar in the water on the feminine side. So moving us through emotion with the divine feminine. And that's about staying heart-centered, which I love everybody's been talking about so far, because that's also a lot of the messages that I was getting as well. It's card number 6, so we're talking about responsibility for ourselves, for our own growth. And if we're worried about family, Spirit said, stay in your own lane. Their time will come to make the changes that they need to do on their own divine timing. And when you're making decisions about yourself, Spirit mentioned, look at the big picture, make decisions based on your needs and not others, not that external noise, to stay heart-centered. And this card is also related to Archangel Gabriel, who helps us with motivation and being creative to move forward. So our next pillar is relationships, and our card was all about renewal, and this is relationships with ourselves and others. It's a time to head into a new direction. And that direction has already been mentioned. It's our spiritual alignment. So we're moving into our new us, and even the word authenticity came up, our new authentic selves, where we get clarity on our life purpose. And in our heart, we know what to do. So that being heart-centered is so important. Other relationships that in the past we've let go of, or they've been lost or changed, have created a void, and that void is going to be filled this year with new relationships that are more aligned with us. And some old relationships that have healed just as we have may circle back, because now you'll be more aligned with those people. Forgiveness for self and others is also important this year. Reviewing that past with Archangel Jeremiah helps us see what we need to change with compassion and forgiveness to move forward. And the family in this card is telling us that it's not just partner relationships, it's relationships with everyone, friends, family, etc. We're all connected. So when we change in that relationship with ourselves, there's that ripple effect to others. And we're also asked to be a role model for children this year. So as we move into self-love and compassion, the kids will see that as well. The other thing that Spirit brought up is this family is standing in a valley between two hills, and they said, this is about neutrality. This year we will be feeling more into ourselves, and we won't be having that judgment that might have been coming up about other people, about ourselves, about situations. We'll just be a little bit calmer and more neutral about everything. This is card number 20, which speaks to partnerships and the support from the divine. And the most important thing is to believe about ourselves and our dreams. And again, it's Archangel Jeremiah that's helping us do that. Our third pillar is about finances. And lovely to see the Empress here, because she's all about abundance and prosperity. So it's looking like a really good year because the Empress has it all. And she's saying, take some action, give birth to your dreams. Creative projects are going to be very successful. We've heard about creativity already. She's holding that beautiful unicorn, symbol of magic. So nurture your baby, your projects, work your magic. And you've got support from the divine feminine. That gold shield down at her feet is telling us that the divine feminine is supporting us with her compassion. And the trumpet is telling us that we're going to be announcing new beginnings, new project, even new businesses. It's card number 3, again, about creativity and communication. And in angel numbers, it's telling us that our spiritual team is behind us. And so they said very loudly with this card, so get your creative juices flowing and get going. And again, it's Archangel Gabriel who supports us with creativity and motivation to get things done. Our 4th pillar is career. And this is the Knight of Air. And he is like full speed ahead. Lots of things are going to be happening very quickly with career and job. And his red cloak and the unicorn are telling us integrate your passion, your magic, your spiritual perspective into your career and your work. It's time. You've done a lot of that growth. So you will be able to do that. This Knight of Air is decisive, focus-driven, and sometimes a little bit defensive. And he really wants to go out and save the world. Very, supporting justice and making things happen. So Spirit's just saying, don't bite off more than you could chew. Take your time and do what you're meant to do. There may be sudden or unexpected changes in your career. So really look at your options. And again, align with your passion and plan. And being the suit of air, they're saying, okay, with these changes, make some intellectual responses to those challenges that might come up rather than being fully emotional. It's card number 12. So it's about new beginnings again with that number 1 and partnerships with the number 2. And the number 2 is also telling us don't stop believing in ourselves. And again, they add up to 3. So we're getting another message about creativity being really important. Our last pillar is about self-growth or spiritual growth, and it's a 2 of water. And it may look like a relationship card because it talks about falling in love or the resurgence of a romantic relationship. But this is also about spiritual alignment with those that we have relationships with and unconditional love. So again, being very heart-centered with the people that we connect with and that we're more spiritually aligned with. And being heart-centered, Spirit saying, as we grow, don't give up on the people you love. They will travel down their path in their divine timing. And forgiveness, again, is mentioned. The end of challenges is coming with that forgiveness as well, working from your heart. This card's also telling us it's time for our spiritual gifts to grow and exchange those gifts, learn our lessons around respect and understanding, and allow ourselves to give and receive this year. And I think Coralie was telling us about that. And again, that cherub is telling us that we're being supported by our spiritual team. The male and female symbols there are talking about the balance of the divine feminine and masculine coming in. They're equal, they're sharing, and they're intertwined. And Spirit said, definitely, love is the key to growing both of those pieces in us as we move forward. The house in the background with the straight path towards it is our spiritual path. And we're moving forwards to our home, our true, authentic selves. Spirit says it isn't windy because we've already weathered the storms to get there. So it's a beautiful, straightforward path. It's card number 2. Again, don't worry, believe in yourself. And Archangel Raphael is the helper here. And as he helps us with healing, he reminds us that healing brings in spiritual growth. Our last card, our bonus card from Archangel Michael is change is coming. Now, don't get scared. Change is good. But he's saying, hang on to your hats because there's going to be lots of new opportunities, lots of new beginnings. And this is a time of joyous opportunities. Good things are coming. And he's there to help us guide us through the changes that are coming. He says, we've already done the work. Now it's time to reap the benefits with all of those new beginnings we just talked about, moving forward with each of those pillar areas. And he's saying that rainbow of opportunities, there is a rainbow of opportunities to grow and find happiness. And as we've already heard today, I love the synchronicities. We all get similar messages. He's saying, be open and you will see those opportunities coming to you. Keep your thoughts positive. Turn down the volume on the chaos around you. Stay in your heart, because that's what's going to find those positive thoughts. And he's saying, work with your intuition through the number 7. Trust in a higher power to move forward. And he's saying you are on the right spiritual path. And that's all of the messages.
Wow. That was, were you talking just to me? That really spoke to me. One of the things I noticed in that, Marilyn, were 2 of those cards, out of all the cards you pulled, had unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that
Yeah,
little baby unicorn and nobody gets hurt. Like, so
I
it was
know.
that. Oh my God. But when I think about unicorns, I think about magic, you know?
Yes,
And
yes.
when we see the horn, it's just, going straight forward and the unexpected and whatnot. And I think if there's a theme happening, unfolding right here with everybody's message, it's related to surrendering and trusting and being open to receiving what's coming, rather than trying to control it. And that's kind of an oxymoron when you think about it, because 2026 is a one universal year, which is kind of asking all of us
Mm-hmm.
to just dive in, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
all of these messages are asking us to kind of, yeah, dive in, but just stay centered, stay heart centered.
yeah. And that's
Right?
what Michael was trying to say at the end, by be open, because we don't have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got support from our spiritual team. There were so many 3s in there and 2s about working in partnership with your spiritual team. And
Mm,
I love the unicorn. Yeah, the unicorn is saying, stay in your magic. Remember who you are, as Laura was saying. We're coming home to who
yeah.
we are
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. Lots of change. Like I feel it too. I feel a tremendous amount of change coming. So
And exciting.
amazing.
Yeah,
But thank you for that. Always
you're
great.
welcome.
All right.
You're
Next up,
welcome.
we have Sherry Donovan. There she is, live and in person. Let me just see if I can unmute you. Oops, wait now. Ask her. There we go. Should be good there now.
Amazing. Just I'm like sitting here basking in everyone's presentations, and I'm like, everything resonates. And I'm like, holy frig, don't swear, Sherry, because then it's recorded. So I'm just so grateful to be here.
There's
And there's so many overlaps, and I was kind of vibrating. I was like the little puppy, that it's like, yes, yes, yes. And that's kind of when I was prepping for today and the downloads I was receiving for today. There's such an overlap, and I'm like, so I'm going to dive in, and it's not going to be a surprise. I might even sound like a broken record from time to time, but I do have my timer on. I'll try to keep it within. For those of you who know me, I never know what comes out of my mouth, so I try to keep it a little
zero
bit more.
filter.
I tried to keep it a little more filtered today. So
It's all
I
good.
just, when I was downloading, I was like, what is this? 2026, we feel it, we know it. There's alignment, there's activation, there's massive soul redirection, there's this energy flowing. And it's like, there's, there are so similarities because the universe ain't playing. It's saying it is time. It is time. And it is bringing forward this frequency that's like, it's going to push you toward it, whether you like it or not. And it's coming in fast. And so the theme for me is very simple. What no longer matches your energy, your soul can't stay in it. So it's simple as that. In saying that, it also means that what
Mm.
is meant for you is also going to come in fast and furiously. And it's like kicking down that door of, from the very first few weeks of the year, it's going to be like your energy is coming in almost like a spiritual earthquake of sorts, because it's shaking things up and it's going, okay, if there are some misalignments in your world, we're gonna make you see it, because it's not gonna be a subtle year. If you do feel like sitting back and having, watching it all unfold with your popcorn, put that shit away, because that's not gonna be healthy for you anyway. And I think I can't remember who talked about it. It's like an inside out kind of experience too. Everything is getting shaken up, and energetically, the overall energy of 2026 is all about this powerful reset, and it's so beautiful. I'm like, I hate to wish time away, because I don't, because everything is meant to unfold when it's supposed to. But I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Can you see it? Can you see it? I can feel it. And it's like the universe is taking this great big kind of eraser on some of the bad shit, even though it's all going to be there. It's just going to, it's almost like giving you this clean slate of sort to reset and restart internally and externally, though. So it's all about, it's both. So if we think we can hide and we think that we can shove some things aside, no, don't even get that out of your mind, because you're going to see old identities falling away. And not in a painful way, though, because I was a little scared as well. I think Laura had mentioned I was a little frightened, like, holy fuck, how am I going to say that without, oh, sorry, Anne. More in this liberating way, right? This liberating way. And many people have been sitting in limbo. So I felt the limbo lately on a few major shifts. That people have just been sitting there going, I'm going to ride this fence. What's going to be coming up? But now is the time to kind of rip off that procrastination band-aid and just say, okay, no more. This is it. And more people are awakening, which is really interesting. When I started to kind of go down this, it's like they're awakening more spiritually, and intuition is rising sharply. It's like not even like this, oh, I'm going to take this little walk and go forward. It's like, shoo, and it's all going up. And it's people who never considered themselves intuitive, or may have thought, what we do might be a little bit woo woo out there. It's like they're kind of looking at it and starting to see the signs that they're receiving, and they're starting to go, hey, there's something about this. There's something about this. There's messages, there's nudges, and they're starting to realize that there is something about the intuitive world. And I know Laura had mentioned about the thinning of the veil, and that's exactly what it is. It's becoming, the veil is thinning, and it is really about clarity becoming the new normal, really, because people that you never would have thought would have been thinking of or accepting, it's like, oh, they're part of this. And it's been an interesting kind of revelation from what I can see. And there's acceleration in every area. So it's like things that used to take years, it's now like this quantum leap of time. It's like this time is just moving so quickly, and it's unfolding in months. So all of this, where we used to see growth or clarity and healing and learning, people are becoming super hyper vigilant, and it's coming in so powerfully. I'm so excited about it. And it's like this year where authenticity becomes the requirement. So anything fake, forced, draining will feel impossible for us to do, because it will be impossible to maintain. So we've got to buckle up. The universe is guiding us back to our true selves, and it will not let us step back. It's really great to feel that. It's like, that electric fence, as you start to go towards it, you're going to get zapped back, and it's going to take us from what no longer serves us. And if you've been thinking about realigning your life's path, well, then 2026 is going to be especially positively hit for you. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you're going to feel what I like to call little course correction moments where, these aren't punishments by any means. They're divine redirections. So it just helps us to remember, because sometimes we get moving and we get going and we're like, oh yeah, this shit's great, man, I'm going here. And then boom, and you're like, oh, that was the wrong way, but it was a lesson to be learned. So that's what 2026 is going to show you. It's going to show you how to get there, but it is going to be in a really quick way. There's no slowing it down. And there could be some really divine redirections, like a job ending. There's surprising shifts, surprising realizations. So these are all ways for the universe to show us that they're making room, they're making space for all these amazing things that you have to come, because they're coming in, and it's like makes me jittery. I know my grandmother's here with me, because she always did this with her hands, and I can feel her. She's just she was a beautiful human. She's a beautiful part of my dream team of my spirit guides. So she's here today. And this doesn't mean you don't have to put in the effort. What it means is that the effort you put in is going to be rewarded, and if it's with true intention. And so what's in alignment, what's in purpose is really important. So keep your foot on the gas pedal of intention. That's critical. Keep your foot on the gas pedal of intention, because you're going to need it. People are going to be leaving relationships, careers, locations that don't match who you are becoming. So it can be a bit frightening. It can be fearful. Like Marilyn, you said, change can be challenging, and it can be something that we fear. But people are stepping into things that they never expected this year. New passions, new soul roles, new versions of themselves. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. And this is going to be extremely noticeable from mid-January till April. I'm like, whew, it's going to be ramping up quickly. And this is also the year where intuitive gifts, people really recognize them. So they're going to start that sudden knowing, that sudden listening of messages. They're going to see things, they're going to feel things so critically close to them. And so when you step into that soul work, when you really kind of, I love that rocket that just went up through the screen because that's what it feels like. It's like when you finally step into your soul path, it's like it's going to take off, even if you didn't really know it was going to go that quickly. So when you are with some really critical, listen, it has to be with intention. Relationships are going to come into major clarity in 2026 too. This is when we have some hard truths that are coming to the surface. So hidden emotions are coming to light. Again, this is that getting the shovel out and unburying all the shit that's built up over the years. So it's time to move away. People are either going to grow closer than ever, or they're going to part ways, but it will be peaceful. There's a lot of peace surrounding that. So things that are supposed to kind of move on are going to move on, but it's not going to be like with, a lot of negative energy. It's very peaceful. It's knowing that the chapter is complete is what's coming up. Family patterns that have carried through generations are beginning to dissolve. Old roles and expectations are starting to fall away. So that was a really kind of a interesting one for me because you'll notice that there's more honesty and fewer masks. And so that means it's an overall desire for this deeper connection. It's like people don't just want this fluffy shit anymore. People don't want fluffy shit. They want you to dig in. They're like, fuck this. I'm done with that. I'm not going there. I want you to tell me what it is and tell me how it is and tell me why. And so the soul family connections rise this year, and it's more about the family you choose, right? It's all about the family you get to choose. People who are meant to walk with you are going to appear quickly, and they are going to feel instantly familiar. And so that is especially clear in March and April. And it's like this light bulb goes off. I know I'm almost running out of time, but I'm going to go for just another minute, and I'm sorry, I can't stop. Career and money are a huge part for many people. And it's a shift out of survival jobs now. So people are getting rid of the shit that doesn't serve them. So these things that don't create passion, they're not purpose-driven work, they won't settle anymore. And it's going to have this little inner voice of fear and uncertainty. That's okay. That's okay. Just hear it, thank it, and know that it's like little things that you've always accepted are like nails on a chalkboard now. You are only going to accept it for so long. So when you get tired of listening to those nails on the chalkboard, that's when the fear is going to go, okay, that's okay. I don't need this anymore. And we're going to make that change. And this year, this has been said in everything. This year we'll see this huge surge in heart-centered businesses, intuitive work, healing practices, creative careers. People are ready for what they're meant to do. And so planning is key in the first half of the year. And so as we all look forward, it's going to really kind of take into effect as we plan. And June, October, it's going to be off the charts in terms of when we see the greatest shifts there. Financial systems as well might feel a little inconsistent, but people are becoming more empowered. So as we stop kind of twirling in the uncertainty and the fear, that's when abundance will flow in, when we are authentically in alignment. So pay attention to that. And just really this year, I'm going to skip right to the end because I just really want to make sure I could be here all day. I think I've got Maureen's old ways. I haven't done this before. So I'm taking a page out of Maureen's book and I don't even know her, but I feel like she's a sister from just a soul sister.
It's all good.
And as we enter 2026, this is not a year to fear. All right. This is a year of rebirth and a year of clarity, and it's a year of rapid transformation. So everything that happens, everything is guiding you back to your highest power. So remember that, and in the right time this year. If you trust your intuition, let the universe help guide you. And 2026 is going to become the year your life expands in the most beautiful ways. But remember, this year is saying, wake up, step up. The version of you that you've been postponing for so long, it is now time. So 2026, as scary as it can be, holy shit, let's rock it. That's all I got.
Freaking love that. You talking to me? It's all of these messages coming in are just so poignant and so meaningful. Thank you so much for that, Sherry. I love that you said there's a couple of things here I want to address. I love that you said soul family connections are going to rise. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel like this year, 2026, is going to have a lot of ancestral healing going on. And selfless plug, my book could not have come out at a better time. Like it's just like it was, I don't know when it was going to come out. I didn't really choose the date, honestly, but the gal that worked with me chose it. But it is all about ancestral healing. It is about recognizing who we are, but more importantly, well, who we are is the most important part, but also understanding who everybody else is. And it's remembering who we are. I feel it. Like it's just so important that we have to go back and we have to remember why are we here? Because so much conditioning has happened that we've become who everybody thought we should be, and all these excuses that we have for not stepping in because there's a certain level of expectation on us that we feel like we have to meet. So there's no more staying small. Would you agree?
Huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
there is no, you can't hide under that rock. There is no
yeah.
rock.
And you said gas pedal, keep your foot on the gas pedal of intention. That's a meme, girlfriend. You have to make that because if you don't, I will.
I know. I feel
That's
like
a
it. I feel
great, that's a
all
great
the time.
message. Yeah. So March and April, I got that. That's huge. Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this. Like you killed
For
it.
this
You really
opportunity.
did. You killed it.
Thanks for that too. Everyone was just, I love all of the energy. And even the group, you could feel the energy in the group. It is just spectacular.
It is spectacular. We only attract really fantastic people. So, so thanks for that, Sherry. Love you. All right, guys, it is time to post your questions. We have Coralie on deck. Coralie, I'm going to do the add a spotlight. There we are. So she's going to scan all of your questions so that we can address them. Now, I would ask that the questions that go to Laura, if anybody has anything that they would like to specifically address Laura with, then please do that first because she has to leave. Um, so yeah, we can't wait to hear what questions you have and the answers you're going to get.
Well, and while people are thinking about Laura questions, one's already come in for you, Anne. Diana said she's read your book, and by the way, you should put your link to your book in the chat just for people who might want to grab it and give it a read. Anyways, she said she's a life path number 22.
Okay.
And she asks if you have any advice on how to best make the changes to live her best life, like how to get out there and break old habits.
Okay, great question. So I'm going to say to that, being a 22-4, you already know that there's something much bigger that you're intended to be doing, but you're not quite doing it yet. So you only get a one universal year once in a 9-year period. So you got to kill it this year, right? No pressure here. But I would say staying as focused as you can on whatever it is you want to create. What makes you feel good? Like tap into what you feel, not what you think you should do, not out of a sense of responsibility so much, but what do you feel you want to do? Get in touch with that and develop a step-by-step plan. It does not have to happen just like this, but it's important that you stay focused on what you want because the inclination might be, with the 22-4, you guys have a tendency to kind of sometimes focus on what's not quite right because you want to do so well, right? So you look for solutions and you look for things that are broken. But if we keep looking at the broken things, then they just keep coming up a little closer, right? That's the beauty of focus. So be very, very careful with your focus this year. Make sure that you are focusing on what it is you want to create, even if it's little bite-sized chunks. That would be my suggestion for you.
Great. Here's a good one for you, Laura. Joanne asks, my wife and I have been looking for an acreage to move out of town for over 7 months now, but nothing decent is showing up. Is something preventing us from moving?
Just let me find Laura here. There she is. No, you gotta unmute there, girl. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Wrong Laura. There you go.
All right. Okay, so just let me gather my impression. So she's looking for acreage but can't find it. Is that basically?
Yep, they've been looking for over 7 months. Nothing decent is showing up. Is there something blocking them or preventing them from moving?
You know what it feels like to me is more like divine timing. So the property that's perfect for you, Joanne, it's taking a little bit of time for it to manifest. So I would, continue looking because the universe likes action. The universe likes it when you're acting on your desires. So I would keep looking, but I would also know that the right property is going to show up in the right timing. And sometimes it's hard to see that when we're actually looking because we have all our wants and all our needs, our need list and everything, and that's all we can see. But really you don't know. I think the universe is just preparing a better property for you and it's not quite available.
Okay, great. And I have a few more for you, Laura. Are you okay just to take a bunch before you have to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Wendy says, Laura, you said that we will be pulled back into our roots. Is there something that will open up for me that I have not been clear about?
Wendy. Feels like there is particular ancestors that want to speak to Wendy. So Wendy, if you go into like a quiet, I say meditation, but I know um it doesn't necessarily need to be a full meditation, but a quiet time and call your ancestors forward because it feels like there's particular ancestors that want to come in and guide you. So it looks like it's more about what is connected to you right now, meaning things that you've been drawn to that you don't exactly understand. So you may have been drawn to different practices and not really understand it, but your ancestors are in your field, in your energy field, and they're trying to show you some things that can help you open you up further to your path. So it could be something as simple as having a ceremonial fire, or maybe sitting with a tree and just connecting to the energy. So it just feels like to me they're already in your field and you can in a quiet moment or in meditation call them forward and begin to connect with them and they can guide you.
Great. Here's a question to Laura from Janet Harnish. I know the name's important, so that's why I read it out, Janet.
I know Janet, so
Yeah. Oh, you know Janet. Okay, cool.
I know her.
'Cause she wants to know, is it possible to get a message from her husband?
Oh. It's interesting because he said that it's that she's trying really hard. So he said, um, like maybe Janet, it feels like you've been trying to reach him and getting maybe a little bit blocked or a little bit frustrated by the actual act of trying. Because he said, he came forward and he said, um, it's like when you're trying too hard, it puts another barrier in your path. So he said to let it go, like to know and have the belief that he's there and let go of the trying part and focus more in the belief that he's with you because it'll open the doorway for him to come in and to kind of connect with you on a deeper level.
Okay, thanks, Laura.
Makes sense, Janet.
And Laura Sophia Birkbeck asks, how can I stay in my heart center when I'm feeling vulnerable?
Oh, the heart loves vulnerability. So if you're feeling vulnerable, you are in your heart center. But I would say the urge is to not put up walls of protection when you're in that state. So to kind of stay in the place of feeling and knowing and trusting that all emotions are okay, all emotions are positive, and just kind of the thinking like positive things flow to me, positive things come to me, I am safe and I am loved. Those very simple mantras can help you stay in your heart center.
Lovely. All right, a couple more here, Laura. The message, this is from Lisa Buchanan. Laura, the message of a key has been brought to me a few times related to something I'm supposed to understand, and I cannot figure it out. Any insight would be great.
Message of a key. Well, you know what? Message of a key has come to me many times too. And sometimes where it's given to us, like if you know about skeleton keys, so the antique skeleton keys that were created to open many locks, this is a message that comes forward when you are being shown that you have everything you need to move forward, that you just have to trust that you have all the ability and all the strengths, all the knowledge that you need to do what is coming for you, what is kind of in your path. It's about trust. It's about knowing that you have the ability to unlock anything that you need, any even intuitive abilities. Anything you ask for, anything you have the desire to ask for in an intuitive realm is there for you. That's the basis of the classes that I created, the magic of mediumship. Because if you desire it, it means there's something in your field telling you that you have the ability to go after that connection, to open up that new awareness or have that learning or maybe experience a spirit connection. So to me, that skeleton key, that key is telling you that you have everything you need to move forward with what you've been questioning.
All right, thank you. And a question from Rosie. Is it possible to get our daughter-in-law to let us see our grandchildren?
Unfortunately, what happens, and I know, hi Rosie, I know Rosie too. Um, Unfortunately, sometimes what happens is we have no control over another soul's autonomy. So we know all the regular human stuff, like we can't control people, we know that. But souls have their own path and they have their own way of being, and we don't interfere with them and they don't interfere with us. What you can do, Rosie, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but you can talk to her higher self and explain to her what you're feeling and what kind of changes you'd like to see. Sometimes when you talk to somebody's higher self in a meditative state, you're not talking to the actual person. You're just calling in their higher self, calling them by name and telling them what the issue is and maybe how that's making you feel and what resolution you'd like to see. Sometimes that can make a difference, but we don't always understand. That's the whole thing about a divine plan. We're not meant to always understand it. And sometimes the divine plan is very frustrating and very challenging, and we can't interfere with another soul's path. So you can state your case to the universe, but then it's your job to trust and be patient and know that whatever's in your highest good is going to happen.
All right. And something from Raven, who's AKA Wendy Johnson. I am I'm connected to my mom, who I lost in 1999, but the last couple of times I feel she has a message for me, but for some reason I can't decipher it or hear it. Would love your input.
This is interesting because part of my path when I didn't know what was happening when spirit was talking to me, I would get bits and pieces of words, or I'd get like words out of almost like listening to something out of tune, like a radio on the wrong station or something. And then I couldn't figure out what they were trying to say. And what happened is I take what is when it's happening, when you're hearing the words and the bits and pieces, take it into your feeling, like try to take it into your heart center and try to feel through the emotion of what's happening, because the emotion is the energy that will take you into the message. You can ask your mom to trigger a memory or something as well. But if I'm connecting with your mom, she's showing me that she's proud of the fact that you have a really big heart. You're a very giving person and you want everybody to be okay. You want to help people. But she shows me almost looks like people are chipping away at you, like they're taking pieces of you, and she's really unhappy with that. So I feel like she's trying to say, you know, it's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to do what's right for you, even though somebody else might not like it or somebody else may be uncomfortable with that, because you've given away pieces of yourself trying to make everybody okay and happy, and she understands why, but it almost looks like it's time to start taking care of you and taking care of yourself.
That's great. All right, last one, Laura, I promise. Laura Lee asks how to show up with adult children when they are in chaos and have their issues while trying to strengthen and maintain a healthy boundary.
Sorry, say that again because I missed part of that.
Yeah, how do I show up with adult children when they are in chaos and have their issues while trying to strengthen and maintain a healthy boundary?
Yeah, right. We could all have a master class on that, I think. uh I would say the best thing to do sometimes is to pull it sounds weird, but to pull back your energy of trying to guide what you're not really. What happens when your kids get older, what I've found anyway, is that I become like the bumper pads in the bowling alley. You know, if you ever take your kids bowling and they put those big pads or rails in the gutters so the ball doesn't go in the gutters, that's what I feel like. I'm just the guardrail. And so the kids have to, my kids anyway, like they have to kind of bump around a little bit and figure things out, but I'm not gonna let them, you know, fall off the cliff or anything. But at the same time, they need to learn their own way and their own strength. And it's really hard to do because you pull back, like you kind of pull back your energy in a sense, and you kind of have to let them decide things. Look up choice theory, because choice theory it's really helped me become like a more of a coach than a parent sometimes. So when you're, you know, using questions to talk to your kids and really listening to what they're saying, sometimes you get all the answers you need, even though you haven't really, it feels like you haven't really done anything except, you know, some very neutral kind of probing questions. And then your boundaries are important. You have to keep them no matter what. The kids, like, doesn't matter how old people are, kids or adults in your life, you need your boundaries. Your boundaries should be strong no matter what.
Amen.
Yeah, right?
Thanks,
Don't
Laura.
let those boundaries go.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love that. All right. So this one is for anyone on the panel. Our friend Colleen Ishwar has written a memoir. And thanks, Laura. And it should launch in August of 2026. So her question is, will this book help her discover her healing voice? What direction might her life/career take? She believes she is meant to be a healer, but not sure what area. Will the book help open doors for her professionally as well as personally?
I want to give that to Sherry. Hang on. There we go. As my conditions. I suppose you want me to unmute you.
Right. Thank you. All right, Colleen. I feel like everything for 2026 is lining you up for what you need. The one thing the question I have to ask though is, are you truly in alignment with every part of the book? There's something I'm feeling. It's like it might be on my page, that 60 to 70 page range, that you might be misaligned on something. I'm just feeling like there's something that you don't truly, authentically feel in alignment on that. So just go back to that and make sure that everything that you've written is something that's truly resting in your soul. So just sit with it, because it is about, we talked about truly being authentic, and it's truly putting everything out there that means huge value to you. So once you kind of have, I feel just like you're like, here's your path. You're just a little bit to the right of it. So you just need to step in. And once you've got that, like, holy crap, it's gonna fly. So you are gonna have some big changes. I feel like the fear bubble sitting kind of in your solar plexus area though. So you gotta let that go a little bit. Um, so that you can really feel where you're sitting authentically. Because once you've done that, yes, you're going to have some big changes personally and big changes professionally. And my question to you is, are you ready for them? Are you really, is this truly what you want? So answer that question too, because I think you're holding back a little bit as well on a couple of those areas. So once you kind of have that all in alignment, and that's going to take you within the next 6 weeks, not a whole lot of time. So get your shit together, girl. You got this. I'm rooting for you. Once you get all that pulled together, it's like you're jumping in, and yes, yes, yes is the answer. You are going. It's going to unfold the way that you want to. But the next 6 weeks are critical in really being real with yourself. Doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't right there. It's that you just got to just shift through and move a little bit in alignment, because sometimes you need to say what you truly believe in, not what you think someone else is going to want you to say. You've got this. It's so powerful. I can't wait to read. I want to read a pre-copy of it, please. Thanks, Colleen.
Great. Thank you, Sherry. And here's a message, or here's a question for Marilyn from Robin Ryder. Hey, Robin. I'm very interested in growing medicinal herbs. Is this the right path for me to take at this time?
Hey, Robin. Whoops, where are you? Have to escape here and try and find you. You know what? When I heard that, I just saw your guides jumping up and down, all excited. And there's something they're saying is, you've done this before. So if this is aligned with your passion right now, yes, go for it. If it truly feels exciting and good, go for it. Does that make sense?
Great. Thanks, Marilyn. And another one for Sherry from Catherine. How do I prepare for the changes that are coming and not allow fear to stop me?
Perfect. All right. Trust, trust, trust. That's what's coming. I'm hearing like this knocking in my head that says trust, 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 trust. If that makes sense. And so, like, you're moving forward, and you've got all of this coming into you. And again, very similar to Colleen, I feel like there's an alignment here, because once you step off the path, it's like things aren't kind of unfolding the way that you want it to be. And so when I also feel like there's a person in your life that's kind of bringing that fear bubble in. It's like you are like going forward. You've got that, like, that kind of foot on the gas pedal that I talked about earlier. And then you let these little kind of fissures of like doubt enter into your world, because there's two people in particular that are just creating these like little snakes of doubt move through you. So that's all right. Again, it's very similar to what Laura said about setting boundaries. You set up your boundaries on what you accept from people. Because if you're preparing for the changes that are coming, and you truly want these changes, ain't nobody gonna stop you. You got it? Ain't nobody gonna stop you. So if you let others and what they have to say, people are gonna say what they want to say anyways. But if this is truly in alignment what you want, it shouldn't matter. Like, you've got this beautiful soul that's ready to make changes and create greatness. And why would you let anybody else blow smoke up anywhere that's not going to be in alignment with what you say? I'm trying to watch my language, Anne. And so, Catherine, you've got this. You are strong, you are powerful, and you have got this ability. But these two people that are kind of creating off your path, just create some boundaries. You've got this. You have got a beautiful energy, and these changes are going to be good, and they're just what your heart has asked for and what your alignment your soul is in alignment for. So I'm like, it's beautiful.
All right. Thanks,
Sherry.
Sherry. And Nadia, sorry, were you going to say something, man?
I was. There's a question here from Gabriella York that I think you should address, Corley, if you're okay with that. It says to anyone, I just had my dog Drake put to sleep this morning at around 11 Eastern time. He was 16 and a half years old. God bless him. A vet came to my house, which was so much easier for him, and my other pets were able to say goodbye. Um, a bit of a chapter of my life is closed. I'm doing okay. He had a wonderful life, but I'm just wondering how soon will I be able to ask if he has transitioned to the other side, and is he at peace? Thanks so much.
What's the dog's name?
Drake.
Drake. Oh. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. Goodness sakes. It was so hard, especially after 16 years. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting choked up because there's such amazing energy coming through from your dog. And Drake meant to be with you for all of the 16 years. I feel like you've had previous dogs, and if you have, that has been his incarnation with at least one of them as well. And he just loves your energy and wants to support you and love you and all that kind of stuff. And he will continue to be your spirit guide on the other side. If you decide to get another dog at some point down the road, he may choose to incarnate again, but he's just with you all the time. So talk to him, visualize him, have pictures of him up in your house because, it's just going to remind you of his loving presence that's with you all the time.
Beautiful. You okay?
Goodness.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, thanks, Anne. Well, and I was going to give myself one from Nadia.
Yeah.
She said she's coming on May 19th. She's coming into her second Saturn return. Is there something more I need to work on? And girl, I know why you felt like you should address that question to me, because I started my second Saturn return on April, and buckle up. It's so much fun. So here's what I've worked on, and I think that this is what's going to resonate for you too. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. You cannot be too clear on what's important to you, and speak and communicate clearly. There's that Brené Brown thing that clarity is kind. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I should be a little mushy, or maybe not really say that, or maybe they're psychic and know how I feel. No, be clear, set clear boundaries, and do that by spending time in the stillness, like we did in my guided meditation and like what Laura was talking about. Spend that time. Doesn't have to be formal meditation, although if that works for you, go for it. Just spending that time. Where am I at? How do I feel? What emotions am I feeling around this particular situation or around this particular person? Do they feed my energy or do they drain me? Is this something I really want to do? Let's hold back from the automatic yes, and let's check in and see exactly what's going on. This is you building your soul sovereignty so that you can make use of all the juicy things that are going to happen this year. And this is going to set you up for the last stage of your life and our third Saturn return, if we're so lucky to get there, Nadia.
Wow. That's a lot of information. What else we got going on here, Curly?
Well, there was one that came through from Carrie for anyone on the panel. She says that sacred trust and surrendering that there will always be enough abundance has been a thing for her. So how I feel I have the trust, but have I truly surrendered?
Oh, this is definitely from Maureen. There you go. Hang on. There you go.
Okay, so man, I was listening to that and I was like, yeah, the surrendering part sucks. That's
does
the
indeed.
word. You know what? Surrendering what I am learning about surrendering, because I have absolutely had to surrender so much over the past couple weeks with my launch, is really an act of self-love. For me, when I first hear the word surrendering, it's like, what did I lose? Like all of a sudden my mindset goes to, I must be bad. I had to give up, right? In reality, when we are surrendering, we are telling ourselves that we trust our heart knows best, that we are guided by our authority, by our heart and our soul. And sometimes that's scary, especially when we have been taught from, childhood that everything is bad and everybody's always out to get us and vulnerability is weakness and, you shouldn't be doing that. Surrendering to your next level is literally the biggest, like, Christmas present you could give to your soul so that you can upgrade and continue to move on your journey to a higher consciousness. And in essence, in love, when you surrender, you are telling love, I love you because I can and I trust you. And I will walk this journey with you no matter what, because I believe in you that deeply.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you. Please don't ask me to say that again. No clue.
Here's one for Marilyn Corley. Hang on, let me just stop this. Okay, Marilyn, there you are. Holly Southern asks, I'm a life path 11, December 20th, 1995. How do I stop doubting my intuition? I find I flip-flop back and forth from logic to intuition. Oh, I'm sorry. I could unmute you, couldn't I? There we go.
There we go. So how do you get more into your intuition? I think it goes back to what we've all been talking about with being more heart-centered. That ego, that mind, puts all those little fears in our head, say that little voice that you heard, no, it can't be right. It can't be me. And so some of what the theme today was also about trusting yourself, believing in yourself. And this year that intuition is going to grow. So allow it to do that. And so putting that ego aside, some of those thoughts are there to help us protect us. I think like Coralie was saying earlier, but it's having that discernment and just being open to more of those signs, those pieces of validation that's going to tell you that your intuition is right, going to help you trust it. So ask spirit for signs. I used to think that pennies on the floor were signs for my dad. And I was like, well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. And then one day I said to him, come on, Dad, can you make it a little bit more than a penny? And I was thinking $10 would be nice. Well, he started showing me dimes all over the place because that was his sense of humor. So if we can ask spirit to give us a little bit of validation so that we can start trusting our intuition more, it's going to come. So that it's going to be this year. For me, they're reminding me for you that you're going to move into microwave moments, as I call them, is you're going to be talking and listening to your intuition so much that they're going to tell you how long to put the microwave on for by the end of the year. So just keep staying open, staying in your heart, saying thanks, ego, but I want to listen to my intuition and look for the signs, and that will help you.
Amazing. Thanks, Marilyn.
You're welcome.
That's great.
What else you got, Corley?
Well, this one's for anyone on the panel. Holly is a Life Path 11. Her birthday is December 20th, 1995. And she asks, how do I stop doubting my intuition? I find I flip-flop back and forth from logic to intuition. And then she has a little bit more information. Her Chiron is in her first house. North Node is in Libra. So I find this can be challenging with boundaries. I'm working on them.
I think our astrology girl is, hang on. Maureen, you're up. Hang on. I always forget the unmute portion.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I hear from that message was that Chiron in the first house. And it reminds me immediately of you can't have boundaries without Aries because Aries is the natural ruler of the first house. Now, you are December 20th, so that means what? That you are a Capricorn. So you are cardinal. And then you have this Chiron in the first house of Aries, another cardinal sign. I really I'm going to be real bold and I am going to invite you to stop caring so much about what everybody else thinks. Chiron in Aries is like, it's the wound of me first. I'm afraid to put myself first because everybody else needs something. In, I want you to literally give zero FUCKS about what anybody else thinks. To me, this feels like I keep seeing this like yellow brick road for you. Like I want you to build that yellow brick road and just not like don't care about anybody else. I want you to be so stinking selfish and just love yourself so much that the only people that can get through are those that love you just as much as you love yourself. I think after that, it won't even be a matter of trust. You'll know. Your heart will know the right people are coming to you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that felt really good. How does that resonate? Because I feel like I went on a tangent a little bit, but it was right there. Ooh,
That's great. Thank you, Maureen. All right.
you're welcome.
And here's one for Sherry. Someone, SM asks if there's any messages coming through that Spirit would like them to know.
I must say, SM, as I was looking at that question before, as I saw it in the chat, my computer shut itself off, so I had to leave and come back. My candles behind me started going. I just had to blow them out. They were just going crazy. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, okay. Sometimes when when spirit thinks that maybe they're not getting the message through, and I'm like, I'm giving her her message, okay? So there's
Love
definitely
your
there's
chats.
and very powerful. It was like, huh, and a very powerful energy is just right there, and it's a female energy with, but not like a really um, flowery kind of overly loving female. Not that she doesn't love. It's just she's very particular, is what I'm feeling. That's a word that's coming to mind, and it's like she's extremely present, and there's a huge soul connection with you. So she's very much there, and she's saying it's you're playing small at something. She says, I'm here, I'm watching you, and you've got these things. You're playing a little bit small. You're back and forth. You're meant to make this change. You're procrastinating. You'd rather sit down on your couch and let it all ruminate in your head rather than take action on things. Or you'll do a step back, you'll do two steps forward, you'll go back, you'll go forth. She's saying, I'm watching you do this. I'm watching you do this. And it's like, you already know the need to change and you already hear her. That's what she says. She already hears me. So I don't, so she needed in a big way to show me that you're already extremely powerful in what you know and what you can feel. You're not trusting what she's telling you. There is a change coming for you. And she really is excited about that. And she's like, I'm like a fist pump going in the air, like there is a change coming. Um, but she's asked you to pay attention. Pay attention because you're missing out on some of the presentness of it. You're not really always present in what you're doing. So pay attention to the presentness. But she also says there's something with music between the two of you. There's something in a song that she sends you, and it's like you're you're not. I'm sending you messages. What more do you want me to do? I can't like take a mallet over your head. So pay attention to that music. There's a huge connection between the two of you and music. So she's there. She's got you. Take the chance.
Amazing.
Beautiful. And JL Pet is asking the panel who her spirit guide is. She would really like to know so that she can talk to them.
Why don't you take that one, Corley? Unless you want to pass.
Yeah. I think I'm seeing an ancestor, someone who was in your family, definitely female. Maybe you had aunt, grandmother, great grandmother who you knew and had some kind of a connection with, and she's with you. And there's a lot of stuff going on through your lineage and through your ancestry, and some patterns and old stuff that you're being the cycle breaker on. And so she's with you and supporting you with that because she really wants to see it end, because she had to put up with it, but then also wasn't able to end it herself. So she helped push it forward, and so she's seriously cheering you on and really wanting to see you succeed at this, because you've already done so much work, and keep going. She's given you a rah rah rah. Hopefully that's helpful.
That sounds great. There's a message from David Parsons, and this one is for Sherry. Are there any messages for me or my family? Just 1 second.
Hi, David. Thank you for the question. I've got kind of like some chaos. Feels like there's some chaos going through myself. So there's been some stuff that you've been dealing with. Some, if it's not you, then it's those in your family. There's some. It's like there's just something's going on. There's just a lot of shit going on. That's what I feel like. It's just not in back and forth. Um, and so what I'm really feeling is that there's this person that passed over and is a very male energy, a very strong male energy coming forward saying, um, there's some stuff swirling. There's something in the back right hand part of your house. I don't know if this person had left something for you, but they're really guiding me to the back left hand. So it's my right, so it's your left hand side of your house. Just pay attention. There's something in the back there. There's something that you have to pay attention to in terms of papers. There's papers there. You're missing out on something. And he's saying, stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. There's something that you're meant to be doing right now that you're not doing. And it's like you've just been putting stuff one on top of the other. And so sometimes when I see a lot of paperwork, it just tells me you're missing the details. You're just not spending time in details. And if it's not you, I don't know if it's you, David, or if it's someone in your family that really needs to pay attention to clean this up. But they're there going, just do the shit, do the stuff that you don't want to do. And it's like, I'm watching you do this. And it's like, time. Time is really important as well. So you have a very limited time to get this done. So take the effort over the next, you have between now and February 13th, which is not a very significant amount of time. And so it's saying clean up the stuff that is kind of causing some chaos in your family. And that's what's causing me chaos in my body right now. It's just kind of like a electric impulse shocker going through. You've got some time between now and February, but not a lot. Just don't sit back on your laurels. Just take some action. So that's what the message is coming through. And again, it's a very male spirit, very dominating spirit. Like I feel like I'm yelling at you, and I'm not a yeller. So I feel like I'm very, very, I'm like a hammer, like there's some type of hammer. Yeah. So hopefully that resonates, David.
Beautiful. Thanks, Sherry.
That's great. I think we've made it to the last question.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe the question Natasha poses would be a good one for Marilyn. Would that be okay,
Sounds good.
Carly? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hang on. Let's see. Spotlight for Miss Marilyn. Okay, Marilyn, the question is coming from Natasha Thompson. She said, I've done a bold move by resigning from my side job, which has been a lifelong belief system security part. Now I keep feeling a sense of leaving my primary job as well, which was my manifestation that taught me that the impossible is possible, taught me that the impossible is possible. I'm confused about if I'm truly listening to my heart, or am I just wanting to rush and end it all at once for new beginnings? Any insight would be appreciated.
Well, Natasha, Archangel Michael told me there was another question coming, and he wants to give you a card from his deck to answer that question. So I'm just going to ask him which one it is. Okay, and I'm going to show you the card because it says just make a decision.
Mm.
So, and it's a scale balancing in the mind and the heart. So it's looking at both pieces of that. And he says, are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? So, you know, the discussion today about being more centered on ourselves and what we need, our boundaries, etc., or are we focusing on that external noise and what other people expect of ourselves? So when you're making that decision, what's best for you, he's saying, and he's saying, accept divine guidance, pointing you towards your own joy because you deserve it.
Beautiful.
So hopefully that helps you make that decision. What's best for you, and having that boundary. They keep talking about boundaries or pushing back, pushing away the opinions of other people and what's the next best step for you. And Coralie, it looks like you have something else that's coming in about that too.
Cool.
Bonus. All right. Well, that was pretty amazing. Thanks, Marilyn.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm gonna bring Sherry in at a spotlight, and I'm gonna bring in Maureen as well. There we go. At a spotlight. And then there, and oops, sorry guys, lots of buttons to push. There. Wow, that's a lot of information that you guys have shared this afternoon. I want to thank each and every one of you, particularly Carly, for always being my engineer. So she always helps me to stay organized and I don't have to worry about too much. Thank you. You know how much I appreciate you. And Marilyn, thank you so much for being here and always being the amazing angelic guide for us. Your words of wisdom are always so grounding. There's just something about you that causes us, all of us, to feel so amazingly grounded. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Sherry, you killed it today. Thank you so much for being here. This is your first go at doing this event with us. I sure hope you'll appreciate it as much as we did. And I hope that you'll consider coming back next year because we'd love to have you.
Honored. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Maureen, you rock star down there. Given the hellishly busy week or a few weeks you've had, I get it. The launch week is, we have to recover from that. And you're still here. You're still doing it. You're still making the contribution. Love you tons. You know that. And all the best with your soul star mapping. It sounds very exciting. You guys all need to check out the resource page. I'll have it updated. Maureen's going to send me a link this afternoon to the slideshow, so I will add that. And you guys will get in there and you can meet them all. Every one of these people do kick-ass readings, okay? So please, amongst many other things, but please do check them out. They've given of their time this afternoon. I really hope that you would support them in return. And they've all got, calendars and stuff that you can go to and book your stuff and whatever. So there's discounts there. There's all kinds of good stuff. So, and once I get the video edited, I will make sure that it gets up there and you have the link to that as well. So if the speakers could stay on just for a second, that would be amazing. But we're going to say thank you so much for everybody attending this year. This was a record number of people. I think we all are a little bit better prepared going into 2026. And that's what we do. We just love to keep you guys informed. So thank you so much for being here. Love you.
Thank you guys.
Take
See ya.
care.
Thank you.